So when we open up the Sony kits, we see the camera, the battery, and some other accessories. The thing that we're looking at right now is our lav mics, which is in these kits. We also have to worry about the receiver and the transmitter. These should have batteries next to where they came out of in these cases over here, or down in the bottom part if need be. So these work kind of like walkie-talkies. The receiver has this little wheel part. This connects onto the camera body, which I'll show in just a second. And then this part has a clip, so this is the transmitter. This has a clip kind of like what you would put on your pants pocket or something. If we look at the top parts of these, they are very similar but slightly different. So starting off with the receiver, again this goes onto the camera. We have our power button, and then a couple of other things that we don't have to worry about. This will be where we plug in for the actual camera, so that way we can get it plugged into the camera to get the audio. First we have to open these up, so we press this button and slide it off. Close it back up, and then we can press and hold the power button until it turns on. Okay, so this means that it's looking for the signal from the other one, so we'll go ahead and turn that other one on. Same thing, press and hold the button, pull it down. Press and hold the power button, and we see that they are connected now. So this says 1, this says 1, they are connected. We also see that this is not flashing anymore. So they're linked. Obviously you still need that microphone, so we'll open up this little clear case. We've got a windscreen for outdoors, and then we've got our lav mic. So just like in the studio, these are really long cords. I want to make sure that we're not knotting them, getting them tangled. So just like before, we've got the lav mic and the clip, and then at the other end we've got a cord that'll plug in. So the transmitter, again this goes onto someone's pants or onto their person, so this is what it'll plug into. And then generally we'll try and screw this in so that way it stays there in case if it falls or if they yank on it, then it won't break, it won't come loose. But just like everything else, make sure that it's finger tight, you're not overdoing it too much. And then you're able to place this onto your talent. We also need, in this little case, we need this black piece. This will plug into the camera, and then this goes into the adapter and then into the receiver. So we'll close this back up so things stay together and organized. So if we go ahead and if we look at our camera now, we see this is where our screen opens up. If we notice, there's a little silver piece here. This is where that little circular piece will go in. So sometimes we have to loosen it. We can kind of slide it right in. Nope, not quite. There we go. And then we'll tighten it up and it'll stay in place. Okay, so it's held on to there, so we're good to go. And then again, this will hook on to someone's pants pocket or on a coat. And then if we look at our camera and our receiver, generally, again, kind of like that microphone, we want to try and screw this into the transmitter, or I'm sorry, the receiver. So we'll plug that in, we'll tighten it, and then the other end hooks into this black piece. And I briefly mentioned it, but there are XLR ports on the sides of the cameras. So you can use either one of them. Just note that they're labeled underneath. So if we wanted to use input 1, we can take that off. Make sure that we line the pins up properly, and then it'll click in. When we're all done with this, Make sure that we press in this little prong here instead of just pulling it straight out. So press the prongs in and then pull out. So now that we've got our receiver and our transmitter set up, we've got it connected into the camera. The other things that we want to look at are these little bars, kind of like the, so they're not moving currently, so that tells me that I don't have any levels. I'm not recording any audio. However, when you get your cameras and get all these set up, they should be moving automatically. If not, what you can do is on the side of your camera, there's this little clear door. If we open this up, you want to make sure that they're set for external microphones, and they are just mics, not any other kind of input. So if we look back at the screen now, gently you can kind of see that first one is going up and down. Say that we want you to monitor the levels. Obviously we want you to watch this to make sure that these are going, but we also want you to plug in at the back side. There's this little door, so if we open this up, there's a headphone jack in there. So when you plug this in, you should be able to listen and hear everything that's going on into the camera. So you can hear if it's actually that lav mic, or if it's the built-in microphone, or whatever the audio source is. When you're all done and you go to put the things back into this case, please be sure that you're wrapping the cords appropriately with the over-under method, and also make sure that none of them are hanging out of the cases. If you close it with this case like this is meant to be waterproof, so it can actually damage the cord. Sometimes it can actually cut it in wherever that line is, making these unusable, and then we have to replace them. So please be extra careful, especially with these cases and even the big orange cases and any others that you use.